Okay, so the first thing we're going to be going over is the aim section. So obviously we have our aimbot. I'll go ahead and display that for you guys here. Let's go ahead and disable that. So we have target wounded, pretty self-explanatory, targets wounded players. If you have it disabled, it will not target wounded players. Next option, we have no friend damage. That will not lock onto any of your friends. Let's go ahead and enable PSilent. PSilent is when you are not directly aiming at a player, but it will still lock on and hit them. So there you go. And then we have smoothing. So when we have aimbot enabled, it's basically going to smooth the lock on. Makes it a lot more legit, but I mean, let's be honest, who's going to use that? We have recoil. Recoil compensates for recoil. And then we have prediction. So say if a enemy is running, let's go ahead and enable aimbot again. It will predict where they're going. Then we have our hit chance. So if you don't want your aimbot to hit every single time, to make it a little bit more legit, you could set a hit chance. So hit chance of 80%. So 80% of shots are going to hit. It's at 17. So as you can see, a lot less are hitting. Go ahead, disable that again, and then enable magic bullet. Magic bullet gets really fun here. So let's go ahead and show you guys a little bit of magic bullet. So we have an enemy right here. Let's go behind the wall, aim in. So you could basically kill people through the wall. It will manipulate your character. I don't exactly know how it works, so correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. It will make it as if you're sitting right here shooting from this angle when you're really right behind here. But correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know too much about coding. We have silent no spread. So so when you aim up into the air and you shoot, you can see the spread of the bullets. It will basically have no spread. Then we have bone plus pierce. So you could shoot behind wall. And then we have auto fire, which will automatically shoot once they become available. And then we have auto stop once they are dead. And then we have instant kill. As you can see. I'm not gonna lie, this is a pretty neat feature. And if you're stream sniping somebody, yeah, this will definitely spook them. And then we have instant kill desync. And then we have heli magic, basically magic bullet for heli. So as you saw with the players, it will do the same thing for heli. And then we have bone override, so we could go ahead and select if we want it randomized to hit their foot, hand, chest, etc. And then we have desync visible. I'm going to be completely honest, I do not know too much about what desync is, but if you do know, you do know, but I don't know. And then we have shoot through walls, pretty self-explanatory. And then now onto the player section. So we have our PlayerESP. Go ahead and change that to whatever color you would like. Let's go ahead and go with a pink, dark pink. And then also scientist ESP. And then visible, so if the player is visible, they will become blue. So obviously, the ones that are visible will be blue, and the ones that are not visible are pink. And then we have our wounded, if you'd like a separate color for wounded players. And then players that are in the safe zone, they will become a different color. You could select, and you could also turn ESP on for sleepers, which I don't like doing because you're going to end up getting a lot of ESP from the inside of bases. And then you have your friend's ESP. Go ahead and make that green, whatever color suits you. And then enemy, there's not too much of a point to this. It's with the contact system. If you have a marked enemy, there'll be a different color. And then you have show alerts if enemy is looking at you. And then you could turn on and off username. I personally like it off because I think usernames are a little bit too big. You have the skeleton. Healthbar, held item, if they're holding a gun, it will appear. If they are outside of a base, and then their team ID, And you can see their hotbar right here. So in the enemy's hotbar, there's a semi-automatic rifle, and then you can see the clothing they're also wearing. And then their view direction. There will be a little bit. There will be a arrow in what way they're looking. And then you have your distance, and then distance and colors. There's also stash ESP for those who are wondering. And then weapon modifications. So we have recoil. So say if we want 50% recoil. 50%, and then if we want 100, and then 0, there's our 0, and then we have our full auto. So if we go ahead and select a semi-auto weapon, hold down on the left mouse button, and then we have silent reload. I'll go ahead and disable ammo here. So there's no reload animation at that point, and it just reloads. So yeah. And then we have no sway. There's no weapon sway with scopes, and then also no spread. Same thing with shooting up in the air. I'll go ahead and show you guys this again. So there's a bullet spread, and then we enable this. There's no longer a bullet spread, just straight. And then increase velocity. This is bullet velocity, so it is the faster the bullet will hit the enemy. It's pretty hard to show that, but yeah. And then we have can shoot, so if you are jumping, you're still able to shoot. And then spoof hit distance, so this will change the distance of the distance of the bullet. And then we have thick bullet, so thick bullet just makes it easier to hit an enemy. It makes their just makes the bullet easier to hit the enemy. And then we have weapon spammer, and I like setting it as middle mouse button. And as some of you guys may have seen in my TikToks, if you set it to 0, it becomes rapid fire. It's a pretty cool feature. It's not very like functional, like there's not much function out of it, but it's just something that's kind of cool to be in there. And then we have no bolt cycle. So when you are shooting a bolt action rifle, there's no animation. Instant Eoka, again, very self-explanatory. There's no clicks to the Eoka. We have fast fire, very cool feature. Pretty cool. And then unlock angle. So this will unlock angles of where you're able to aim in. And then we also have aim in mountable. So if you are in a minicopter, you could go ahead and aim down sights. And then no melee slowdown. There will be no slowdown like when you're running and then you want to melee. It will not make you stop sprinting. And then we have melee distance 2x, so it makes you be able to hit objects, barrels, whatever, players at 2x distance. Hammer spam. It's basically makes no animation for the hammer, and you could spam the wall. And then no aim cone. No aim cone. It's pretty simple. Fast bow. It's basically there's no animation, and you could just bow. Instant charge with combat bows. There's no charge. And then, yeah, we're going to go ahead and move on to the movement. So, debug camera. I don't know if this works on... Oh, it does. Okay. So, yeah, debug camera. Use your hold down right mouse button to zoom in and out. And shift to speed up. Pretty cool feature if you want to see how to rate a base or whatever. And then we have third person. Not sure why you would want to use this, but pretty cool. Go ahead and move on to fly hack. So if we set our mouse button, we can go ahead and fly. I think we are. And then interactive teleport. So with interactive teleport, you can go through walls, and say if there's a furnace on the other side, you are able to turn that on and off. Pretty fun feature. Teleport. Teleport, it's kind of functional. So on a player screen, you will remain here. You don't want to go over 5 meters, I believe. And then you press Z again. And then you will teleport over there for the player. Pretty cool. And then on ladder, it will make you look like you are on a ladder. From what I can see here. Pretty cool. Looks pretty funny. But yeah. And then we have Omni Sprint, so you can sprint from right to left without not being able to sprint. Anti-fly hack violations, the higher you go, it will warn you if you're about to get fly hacked. And then same with no clip, speed, and also barriers. We also have Spinbot. Guess we can't see that from third person. But yeah, it will make you do Spinbot. And we also have Spider-Man. Will affect the way you jump, but you're able to climb walls. And smaller hitbox makes your character have a smaller hitbox. An infinite jump, double jump, triple jump, just jump as much as you want. Walk on water, you're able to walk on water. Auto run, just basically makes you sprint constantly. With instant loot, it will make you be able to loot players at the speed of light. And then we also have instant revive, instant drink, instant heal, auto upgrade, auto collect, just a bunch of different automatic features. And then we have world modifiers. If it's nighttime, you can turn day hack on. Also, there's sky value. Let's change what the sky looks like. And ambient, it'll make shadows a lot brighter. Bright stars makes stars bright at night. FOV, full feature, zoom, up, zoom in. This is I don't know what you would want to use this for, but it's kind of cool. Shows you where you can and can't go, obviously. And copy bag ID, rainbow hands. I can't show you that, but makes your arms rainbow. Sign painter, you can go ahead and paint on signs. Hardcore map displays hardcore map and compass, and then no fog, no rain, no wind, etc., etc. There, guys. This is going to be the end of the review. In my opinion, I think this is probably the best Rust product available. And if you guys are interested in getting it, I personally use this in all of my TikTok videos and YouTube videos, so I highly recommend you guys getting this if you're looking for a Rust cheat to use. So yeah, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and end the video. If you guys like the content, make sure to subscribe and leave a like. And I'm definitely going to be bringing more content to you guys. Make sure you guys join the Discord, and I'll talk to you guys later.